If you're interested in 3 things that you might be missing when you're trying to get a guy's attention, then stay right there. How would you go about getting his attention? Now, before you think about that, or before you decide, actually, I am going to go out of my way to get his attention, ask yourself, why do you want this guy's attention? Is it as simple as you go to a bar every weekend or whatever else and he's not talking to you, he hasn't noticed you, or something like that? Or is it you're like, no, I've spoken to him on a few occasions, I've seen him in action, and I want this guy for my potential mate. However, he just can't see how nice I am. I'm going to turn this way because I've plucked this thing. Let's do it this way. Anyway, so say for instance, this guy is a DJ, for the sake of explanation, for the sake of example. So this guy's a DJ, or he's an aspiring DJ or something like that. Or he could be a footballer or whatever else. He could be someone who's starting his business. But let's use the example of this guy that you want is a DJ. So if you think about the realm that he's in, so you've met him at this club, or whatever, or you've spoken to him a couple of times, or wherever you've seen him, right? So you've met this guy at the club, and you see how he interacts with his friends, the people that he's around, right? So, and he's really cool, he's really charming. He greets the women, he's said hi to you, you're good and whatever, and you're like, no, I like this guy, I want this guy. Now, what I want you to think about is, as a DJ or an aspiring DJ or aspiring someone to set up their business or whoever it is, there's a lot that goes into that process, to that thinking, right? So say for instance, he's got aspirations to DJ in Turkey or Ibiza, one of these big events, or I don't know, he might want to do a stage show in Jamaica. So that's his goal for, say, next year, that he wants to go off and DJ at a massive event. And right now he DJs in all of these clubs, for instance, right? But in his head, he's like, I need to work to this. He also wants to get on radio. Say, for instance, he wants to start his own station. He wants to be interviewed. He's trying to look for a manager, or he's working with his manager to work with different radio stations and so on and so forth. So he's got all this energy in wanting to become this DJ, right? So he's talking to new people, he's DJing at different clubs, he's traveling to Ibiza to see what's going on. And so he's getting on with his life. So he's like this, he's doing all these things, and he lights up, right? Because he's in full creation mode and his energy is like this, and you're like, oh my God, he's so energetic, he looks so live, and plus he looks good, and so on and so on and so forth, right? You, however, are just chill. So you've got your job, which you go to 9 to 5, just say for instance. You got your cute little house. You do your little thing. You go out with your friends sometimes, and you have a great time. But you're not really doing anything past your norm. So in you living in your frequency, say for instance, you're like this, you're going to work, you're coming back from work, you have a glass of wine, you watch your TV, you chat to your friends, you talk about what's gone on, and this is basically your life. And then what happens is, you want to go out on the weekend, so you get kind of hyped, you're like, oh my God, yeah, let's go out on the weekend, let's go there. And then you come back home and everything's all flat, and then you go, oh, I want to go on holiday. You're like, yeah, you get all hyped. So you have these peaks, but generally you have this flattish kind of line. And then you've got him who's got all of this, he wants to do this, he's aspiring to do that, he's meeting new people, he's putting himself out, he's out every week, he has to find new tunes, old tunes, good tunes, and a whole lot going on, and you're like this. And he's like this. Now, the only time that you two will meet, say for instance, when you did meet, was when you were on hype with your friends and deciding to go out to whatever bar, and then you met him who was hype and wanted to do a good set, and so you two, when your vibes in, you two ended up speaking. But then other than that, there's nothing to speak about, right? And so it appears as if he's not interested in you, and it doesn't matter how nice you look. Now, he's probably got an idea of the type of girl that he wants, right? So again, that would have been part of when he spoke to you, when you dressed up and you looked really nice, and when he spoke to you, it was like in his head as a DJ, he's probably thinking, I need someone who's not jealous because I'm going to be quite flirtatious. Just if that's his character, right? Let's just, go with it. I need a type of girl that looks like this, who compliments me, and so on and so forth. And that day when you went to the club, you looked like all of that, and then your energy was high and his energy is high. So you met and you had a conversation, and then after that, it pretty much faded away. Now, what I am trying to say there is, if your vibration does not match his, you cannot possibly go any further than the conversation that you've already had. It's a bit like meeting somebody and, you've met someone and they're really cool. You get in their company, but there's nothing to say after, like, hi and you're right, and I don't know, you come here often. I don't know, someone at work that they appear really cool, but you've got nothing to say to them. You're just on different vibrations. You're doing your thing and they're doing their thing, and their thoughts and their beliefs are somewhere completely different to yours, and so you can't match. I've got a piece of hair in the middle of my face, I can't move it. And then you'd meet somebody and you and them are like, and on and on and on, and just straight vibes in. Well, the same applies. I'm so aware of this hair. I can't get it off. Help me, somebody help me. There you go. The same applies when you're trying to attract this guy. He's doing his thing, and your thing and his thing doesn't match. So that's the first thing you need to be aware of. That's a very long 6 minutes of something to be aware of. Anyway, number 2, what is it, and it really follows on from number 1, what is it about you? What are you going on with? What are your thoughts? What are your beliefs? Because that's another way that you meet and you match people. When you're thinking the same types of thoughts, when you want the same types of things out of life. And again, if you've got nothing about you, not in a bad way, but if you're just cool on a chill and you're living in your comfort zone and you're meeting people who at different points whose energy is just like, they just look alive, they just look like, you look at them and just like, right, there's something about, they're just glowing, and you're like, right, I want that person, but you ain't going on with nothing. They can't, and it's not to say that your life is not going on with nothing, that sounds a little bit harsh, but you're gonna get, you get what I say, right? You too are going to be like the person that you might meet at work, and you're just like, we've got nothing really to say. That's how it's going to be for him. And so when you do finally get into his company, you just, even though you're feeling like, oh my God, I'm really shy, the fact of the matter is there is no conversation. So what is it about you? What are you doing with your life? Where's your energy? What are you creating in your life? What makes you feel like, yeah, I want to share this bit of my life. This is what I aspire to. This is what I want. Because the fact of the matter is, you're seeing that in him because that's something that you want for yourself. So it's probably best you wake yourself up and be about it. Be about, what's for me? What am I doing? Because then you're going to take your focus off what he's doing anyway, and you're going to start meeting people that are vibing on your level, which is why sometimes you'll meet people and you think, why the fuck is he talking to me? Like, oh my God. And that's because at different points, if you actually spoke to that person, you was like, why is this big face talking to me, or something like that, yeah, you would be able to uncover that you've probably got a lot in common. As much as you're like, no, I haven't got nothing in common with him, you'll probably find that you do actually have a lot in common with these big face people that you keep on meeting. So think about yourself and think about what's going on for you and what you might want to create more than what's already happening, so you can meet these high vibration people and be about it. And the last one, number 3. So another long scenario. So let's just say you're aware of this and you're like, all right, Azania, I get you. Now I know what it is. And you go, I don't know, you might do some type of stalky thing and see what he's about, and go on some type of, go on his social media And then you might decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to get myself interested in that shit. So I know. So say, for instance, it's a footballer or whatever. I'm going to go and learn about the offside rule. I've seen the types of girl that he rolls about with and what they look like. So I'm going to change my appearance and look like that. Or I'm going to go to the clubs where all the nice ones are. And I'm going to be exactly that, right? So you do all of this, getting involved in their life, still not really concerning yourself with yours necessarily, just more interested in attracting a particular type of guy, right? For your own eye candy, yeah. So you go about all these changes and like, yeah, I got it. And then you go and meet this guy, right? And then he's like, you vibes because you were thinking, you were believing, you were saying to yourself, this is what it is to attract this type of guy, right? So you start vibing and you're talking and he's like, yeah, she's kind of nice, and you get on and then you want to play all mysterious, say for instance, and he's like, oh, what are you up to? Not what you up to. He might say something like, I don't know, let's say you get on a date. Let's fast forward it. Let's say you get on a date and he's like, what do you want to eat? And you're like, I don't know, whatever you want to eat, babe. Whatever you want to eat, babe. And he's like, all right, cool, I'll pick the restaurant. And then say for instance, I don't know, it's a couple of months into the relationship or something like that, and you decide, or he says, oh, we're going here, and you're like, oh, what do you want me to wear, babe? I don't know why I got this stupid accent, but whatever. And he's like, oh, why don't you wear da 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 da. All right. Fast forward this whole relationship into, say, I don't know, a year, when he's now assuming that you're mystery girl, or you're the girl that really doesn't mind, and you're the girl that doesn't mind him directing conversation, doesn't mind him directing where you're going, what you're wearing, what you're doing, and so on and so forth, yeah? And then all of a sudden you kind of wake up and you kind of find yourself in that moment, and he's like, I don't know, he might say, oh, he might say, oh, let's go out to eat or whatever, and you're like, yeah, let's go and get some fish. He's like, no, we're gonna go here, and you're like, no, I don't want to eat that. I want to have fish today. And he's like, no, we're going to eat this because this is what I wanted. Now, you already set him up for him to do all the choosing, for you to live into his life, and so on and so forth. So now when you're trying to find yourself, when you're kind of bored and you realise that he ain't all that anyway, you're saying to yourself now, no, it's time to wake myself back up. I got needs, I got things I want to do, I got places I want to go, and you're like, yeah, I want to go here. And he's like, well, no. What then? What now you jumped onto his vibration and forgot all about who you are and what's going on? But you still like him, right? Eventually, he will get bored. He will get bored. You'll get frustrated and he will get bored because you're not what he wanted. You just jumped onto his vibration. You just jumped onto everything that was about him, and you had nothing about yourself. You didn't maintain who you were, or not even maintain, you didn't come with originally who you were. So I suppose the moral of this story is stay in tune to who you are and create that energetic life that you see in other people. Create that for yourself, because the minute you start creating that for yourself, somebody else will be watching a video going, how do I get her? How do I get her, and how do I get onto her level? And more than that, you'll meet the person that you'll be vibes-ing with. You'll meet the right person that you'll be vibes-ing with anyway. Because if at first glance you're kind of looking at someone and saying, oh, they look good, and, you know, height, build, energy, and so on and so forth, you really got to pay more attention to what's going on for you. Because in doing that, you'll meet that person where you and them can vibes and flow and all of the good stuff. So that's it. That's the 3 things that you might be missing when you're saying, or, you know, strongly kind of, I want to attract this guy. I want that type of person in my life. So caution, darling, caution. Don't go in with that attitude. Anyway, listen, thank you for watching. Spitting all over the place. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to comment and tell me when you've actually matched with somebody at a different point, and you vibed on one level, and then when you actually got to know them, you were like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is this person? Comment below and tell me what that experience was like, and what are you going to do better? Okay? Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Comment below with that. Don't forget to subscribe, just so we can pop up and we can work out this shit. let me apologise for the dark background and for the overplucked wig. But you know, my wig game ain't strong. Until next time, have a good evening. All right, take care. Bye.